Hi, I'm Matt Goodson from Matt Goodson Bridle Horses. Today we got just a little clip about moving some body parts. I think horse training's two sides. It's mental and physical, and if you can combine both of those, generally your horse gets pretty trained. But today we're going to talk just briefly about the shoulders a little bit and control the shoulders. And there's a lot of different tricks that people use, and it's one thing I found training horses is that each person you talk to will tell you something different that works for them. So there's no set right way or wrong way, but kind of what we'll show you today is some stuff that works for me a little bit. We're going to talk about the shoulders, but don't get me wrong. I think you need to be able to control their rib cage and their hindquarters as well as the shoulders. But I find it easier usually if I can start on the shoulders. Then as I work my way back, I have better control. So we'll talk just briefly maybe about breaking these shoulders loose and what you might call like a bit of a counter flex. This mare's had it done to her quite a bit, and she knows the drill. We're going to just try to show you in steps about how you might go about it, and we'll kind of just see what happens. I think most of my problems for me feel like they show up in the shoulders. If I'm having lead change troubles or stopping or working a cow or turning around or doing some of the fun maneuvers I have, if I'm having problems, it shows up, I feel like, a lot of times in the shoulders. So I may not just ride these horses around and bend them all day long for no reason, but if I were to say turn this mare around to the left and I felt like her right shoulder wasn't working very good, I could counterflex her and try to move that shoulder and then put her back in and release the pressure in the maneuver. But I've always taken her outside of that maneuver to try to fix her. So I'll just kind of show you if I was just starting on a colt, maybe with not too many rides, and if I could just walk them along and I could just push with my leg a little bit and get them to step away just like that, I'd release them. That's, to me, step one. I don't ask for 2 steps, don't ask for too much bend. Just as long as they try to move away, I think that's the start of something that'll work for you. So I'll come back around here to the camera and do it as you go along with your riding and your horse gets a little better, and maybe you can keep that same amount of bend but push them around a couple of steps. And really what I'm talking about is her right front foot crossing in front of her left front, and that tells me that right shoulder's moving. We'll do it again, as they get a little better and a little better, you can start pushing them around here in circles with a little bit of bend or a lot of bend. Kind of depends on what you need. But the one thing that I'm somewhat conscious about, and I've run into troubles before from trying to get horses into the bridle, is the way that I go about doing this. So you're kind of seeing I'm lifting straight up on this inside rein and pushing with my right leg, lifting straight up with my right hand. I've been rode with some guys before, and it works good for them, is they'll take and pull this rein across his neck and expect those shoulders to move just like that with no leg. And you can see that button's on her. And then I've rode with some guys that we'll say to keep the reins way out wide like so and push them around. And I don't know there's a right or a wrong way to do it, but I will say I feel like when you get into the bridle, if you're always pulling this rein across the neck like that, trying to get the shoulders to move, you can end up with some problems where those horses are looking to the outside. So I think if you can hold this rein maybe just straight up when you start it. But the other thing you need to be able to do, I think, too, is have them where you can just push it around off your leg. And then if she loses that bend, you can fix it with your hands and then turn your hands loose. And you see here, I'm totally loose reined. There, she lost it a little bit. But I'm holding her with the leg. So I'm making her a little bit mechanical here, but it's another button that I have on her. If I'm working a cow and she's having troubles falling in with that shoulder, maybe I need to have that button where I can do it with my leg, I can do it with my hands. Really what it comes down to is just trying to get her body broke loose so I can control both sides of her body and these shoulders. And I just feel like if you're having a tough time, say with the trying to get them to bridle up, well, maybe you can't get them drove straight into their face because their shoulders are wiggling. So you need to be able to control these body parts. And another day we'll get into the ribs and the hip, but hopefully this will kind of help you where you can get to pushing your horse around just a little bit and try to get the body parts broke loose and hopefully make your horse a little more broke. Thanks for watching.